The most dangerous lies are the lies that you believe about yourself. I remember when I was living in London, and nearly every day, very least every 2 days, I would talk to somebody from home, my mum, my dad, my sister, my brother, somebody, and they'd ask me how things were going, and I was saying, oh, fuck class, right? This is the best decision I ever made, and I'm loving life. And the reality was that I was hating every minute of it. I thought I wasn't good enough to be there in the martial art world, but also never really lived at home before. Not never really, never lived at home, like outside of home before, by myself. I moved in with a landlady that was a nightmare. There was so many things about it that were terrible, but I just lied to my family every day to the point where I started to believe my own lies. I started to believe that I was. It actually took the woman locking me out one night because she just decided 11:30 was too late for me to come home. That made me realize that fuck, I was pretending all this was good, and it's not. And I worked over the years with lots of people who would tell me stories about themselves, and I would see their actions, and the stories just would not match the actions at all. Their stories were about how they're really trying, but you look back through messages when you've asked them, when you've given them wee bits of homework, like I do in this podcast, give them wee bits of homework, and you go, well, you never tried the 5 weeks of homework we've given you. Oh, I know, but I was too stressed to try it. Like, well, you're not going to get better if one, you're not actually doing the work, and two, you believe you are doing the work. And I think this is a bit of a double-edged sword for me anyway, in my experience. I will call people on their bullshit. I'm happy to talk to you about anything that's going on, but I will call you if I think, or even just ask questions. I'll call or ask questions about the bullshit that I think is bullshit. And usually my gut is right, and it is, but it's not because I'm super amazing, which I am. It's because I do this all the time. I've mentored people. I've done hypnotherapy. I've done Reiki, massage, taught Kung Fu, talked in schools and corporations. I've done a lot of things, so I've honed my skills down. And most people are, I'm not going most people are too worried about offending people to call them on their bullshit. My goal when calling you on your bullshit isn't to offend you, obviously. It's to get you to question your own reality, your own narrative. But if you never do that, then, and you start believing the lies, like you talk about how life always is hard for you and always is on top of you and things always go wrong, then your cognitive bias will create more of that. Partners always leave me, they always end up cheating on me, and you go, how often do you ask them? Like, how often do you show lack of trust? All the time. So I'm not saying it's right to cheat, but I'm saying that the patterns that you create can create the outcomes that you're trying to get away from, like, or you start believing everything about your life is shit, so that's all you see is the shit, the shit, the shit. Whereas if you change and start to focus on your life getting better. My life's shit at the minute. I'm not where I wanted to be, but I am working towards it, and I'm doing this, this, and this to get better. Then the more you focus on that, the better life actually gets. That's why when I teach journaling, and even the journal that I made that you can get on Amazon, it has like 3 things you're grateful for, and at the bottom 3 things that went well in your day. That's 6 different things, 6 different times you're focusing on positive. And the more you do that, the more it reinforces the positive, the more you actually look out for it. Because the first couple of times you try to write down 3 things you're grateful for, you'll struggle a wee bit and you'll write the normal generic stuff like, I'm grateful I have a house. When you're not really, you're just fucking saying it because you've never experienced living somewhere shit or being homeless. So you go, oh, I'm grateful. Whereas if you talk to someone that was homeless, when they put down they're grateful for a house, they really are grateful for it. We have lived such a comfortable, over here anyway, in the UK, Ireland, most of us have lived a very comfortable existence. Yes, we might have felt like we're poor, but we may be poor, but we still had a house, we still had people around us, we still had food. You might not have had all the food you wanted, but you still had some. So when you're When you live in that wee bubble of poor me, and you start to believe the lies you're telling yourself, like I've tried everything and nothing's worked, or it's always my boss, it's always my partner, it's always my ex-friends, it's always somebody else's fault. It sticks you, you're stuck in the mud, you just get stuck, you're not going to go anywhere. So that's why I believe that the lies you tell yourself, that you actually start to believe, they're the most dangerous ones, because they're not based in reality, and they stop you moving forward. So a few things that I wrote down here is that, like, we all wear masks, but they come at a cost. So sometimes it's worth wearing a mask around certain people if you don't want them to get too close to you because they're fucking assholes or they're gonna be destructive in your life. That's fine. Sometimes you have to put on a brave face for family or friends in a moment of, like, something's going on with them, and you put on a brave face and you help supporting them. But you want to be able to take that mask off at some stage with them and settle down. Like, I was very bad at this for a very long time. So your masks, yes, they can be useful, but not if you wear them all the time. And I wrote, shadow work isn't about shame, it's about clarity. So doing the shadow work, looking deeply at yourself, looking at things that you've done in the past, that you fucked up, that you succeeded in, looking at it for clarity, not for shame, like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that, I really regret that. Looking back at shouldn't have's and regret, again, sticks you back in that mud, you're not going to go anywhere. Looking back and going, right, if that was to happen now, I wouldn't do it that way, this is what I would do instead. That is clarity, and that is progression. So I was talking earlier today, moving forward slowly is still moving forward. So don't worry about the speed in which you're going, and just whether you're progressing. And the last thing I wrote is, radical honesty doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. Once you stop listening to the bullshit, like in the world of martial arts, I meet people that go, oh fuck, I used to be a black belt in karate about 20 years ago, and I could fucking do all this mad stuff and I was class. And then they just set themselves up for internal failure. They join the class, they do some sparring, they do some grappling, whatever it is. They're not very good at it because, again, even if they were a class 20 years ago, they haven't done it in 20 years. But mentally, they still think they should be, so they get really super frustrated. And in my experience, most of them just end up quitting because they end up quitting because it's just not living up to the lies and the fantasy that they've developed and built for themselves. So the challenge that I want you to do today is the mirror note. Mirror note. Mirror. Write down one truth you've been avoiding, just one of them. There's probably more, but just write one for now. Say it out loud to yourself every morning for the next 7 days, looking into the mirror. See how you react when you actually say it. So a lot of the time when I was doing therapies, people would come with problems that they could easily write down for me in the sheet they filled out, or when they messaged me the first time, and then I would say, I'm going to explain it, and they couldn't say it. It was like I got stuck, the fear of saying it. So it's worth saying it out loud and just fucking eyeballing yourself in the mirror. So, like, for example, I feel stuck in my work. A lot of people hate their job, feel stuck in it, and then just piss and moan about it, and then go on about their normal business. So when you do this, you want to sit with it, see how it feels, see what it's teaching you, like the sensations that you're feeling, the reaction you're having, see what that teaches you. And then you're not just trying to fix it, you're trying to face it first. So we're not looking for, oh, I'm stuck on my work. Really, if I did this, this, and this, then I could change. I'm stuck on my work. How does that feel? Why do I keep ending up in this situation? And just face it. Facing it gives it less power. So Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, when he finally went down to the furnace, facing it takes away its power. Like, you're in front of yourself in a mirror, saying whatever your problem is. The more you say it, the more you own it, the less power it has over you. So do the mirror note. Let me know how you get on with it. If you like, tell me what your note is, or just tell me your experience with it. And until the next time, have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.